Well, either way, we're live. We are here. Welcome back to another episode of the Good Life Visual Audio Podcast. I'm C Muzan. I got Kabi here in the building. Say what's up, Kabi.
What up, though? Shout out
He,
Detroit.
the D. We start every show. We need to, Ash, I think we need to like clip something up that has like a Detroit hat, a Detroit something that starts the beginning of all of our shows just because we need to pay homage, I guess, right?
Yeah, I need to make my official appeal case to the board of governors of Detroit or the mayors or whatever the board is. I need to make my request to be accepted as official or unofficial, actually official, right? Official
Yeah.
member of the Detroit Mafia or whatever. Detroit. What is it? What would it be? Detroit
I don't,
what?
I don't know. You have to know this. This is your like the Detroit. I don't
You know,
know.
it's funny. I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld recently, right? And I say watching is pretty loose. Like
Are you a Seinfeld fan?
it, I w- it- all right. I gotta explain. I can't just say
Okay.
yes or no to that, right?
Okay. All right.
So when my wife is cooking or I'm cooking, like we're in the midst of like dinner and stuff. We put something on in the background, or when I need something in the background, some sort of background little thing going on, right? And it's been Seinfeld because there's a lot of episodes,
Mhm.
and it's um, to be accepted into or to make nice with members of certain groups. Seinfeld is very key, right? So make a lot of references, etc. Um, and it's good. It's like easy fun. It's non-offensive, you know.
Sure.
So I was watching an episode of Seinfeld, and George was becoming a member of the Orthodox faith to appeal to a young woman, and he had to do all this reading and all of this and go through this ceremony. I'm imagining that's what it would be like to enter into the Detroit family, right? There's gotta be like a couple books I gotta read, maybe a couple movies. I gotta memorize some songs, maybe demonstrate a few dances, and perhaps I can make my case as to why I should be accepted, even though I've never stepped foot in Detroit. Um, I think I can do it, man. I think I can do it.
I think
What
you
up,
could.
though?
You're halfway there. you're halfway there. If you watch 8 Mile, I think you'll pick up the other 25%, and then right, just get you a friend that's from Detroit, and they'll fill you in on the rest.
That's
But
right. Uncle Jalen, can you write my letter of recommendation? I need Uncle Jalen to write my letter of recommendation.
he just might. He just might.
Ash,
But
let's send this to Uncle Jalen and the crew. Jalen and Jacoby. Let's send this over here. This is my official. I don't even know what the word is, but plea, my official whatever. You know the little thing you send, like you grab the little. I
the
gotta find the word.
pledge.
Yeah, like when they send in the videos into America's Got Talent.
Oh, like
What is that?
I don't know, a video submission.
Video.
My no,
There's a word for it. Like my audition. Audition.
I don't know. Maybe it's audition. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Throw some dancing in there. It's definitely an audition. Definitely an audition. But again,
Detroit basketball.
showing our love to Detroit. As always, getting the show started. Appreciate everybody tuning in again. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. This is the Good Life. We're excited to have these conversations around health and wealth and all the things that we need to get to the good life, not just the good life, the great life.
Great life.
That's right. That's right. We're back this week. As always, we want to make sure that join our Facebook group. We got a lot of stuff happening over there on Facebook. We're plugging it right now. We want you to take some time out, find us over there on Facebook. The group has access to Kabi and myself more time. more information around the things that we are talking about here on the show, and just in general, building more of a community over there. So go ahead and join us over there on Facebook. If you still hang out on Facebook, do people still hang out on Facebook? That's the thing.
I think so, actually.
Yeah.
I was recently surprised. Yeah, I think people do still hang out on Facebook.
I think they do. And so because they do, join us over there on the Facebook group. What's funny is we're going to be talking a little bit about Meta today. I don't know if you looked at the articles or the things that Ash had put together, but the fact that we're going to talk about how Meta has been laying off people, right? Facebook been laying off people. That's the topic for today. Some of what we're talking about today, but also wanted to throw it to you really quick, man. I know you got a juice. Well, we're not calling it a salad. Are we calling it a solid food vacation?
Fasting group.
Okay, there we go. We got a fasting group coming up.
Yeah.
You want to throw the dates out?
I do. So if you are interested, the best way to get in touch with me, I.cut-the-noise Instagram, send me a message. But ideally, this is a winter fast, right? A winter fast. Each season, fasting should be seasonal based on where you are, what's around you. And each season, it's a little different. And the more I learn, the more I adapt, the more I try to give out to folks who tap in with me, tap in with Cut the Noise. And this time we're going to roll out a fasting group that plays more with the how and the when, and not so much the what you eat. All right. So again, the how and the when, and not so much the what that you eat. There are multiple different ways to really attack this with the same goal: increase energy, increase productivity, decrease brain fog and things that are bogging you down. Same goal, slightly different methodology. And if you want to tap in with that, I would, in my opinion, it's a little easier, if you will. That's not the reason to tap in, though, but it is a little easier and simpler to adapt to us. And we will definitely work with folks in terms of like what's going on in your life. But in the winter time, it's not a great time to be juicing. I'll just say that right now. Winter time is not a great time to be going on an extended juice feast. That's more of like when the weather is warmer, right? When the weather is warmer and the elements are not as harsh. But you can still play with time. You can still play with the how. And that's what this fast is about really diving into that methodology and still getting you on track. And as we go into the holiday season, I think this is really going to be very helpful for a lot of folks to roll into the holiday season with momentum, maintain that momentum, and then go into the new year at a different level, rather than starting the new year trying to catch up, right? Rather than starting the new year trying to get out of the itis, the coma of Thanksgiving, of Christmas, of if we notice, right after Halloween, we start to really hit a sugar coaster, if you will, right? We start off, bam, Halloween. You don't have any kids. Why are you eating so much candy?
Even if you have kids, why are you eating so much candy?
But at least you got an excuse. If you got kids, it's around, right? You grab a couple here, but you got, adults dressing up, say trick or treating, and they don't even trick or treat. They just buy it for themselves. You're cheating, right? So right after Halloween, you've got the one of the biggest eating days of the year, Thanksgiving. Then we go right into Christmas. Then we go into the Christmas lull after. Then the New Year's, right? So by the time we hit, and then people got to slowly recover from that. And then January is pretty cold, regardless of kind of where you live. It's pretty damp. It's like you don't move too much. By the time we hit February, people had already put on a cool 15, 25 pounds. Right. And then they remember what they were trying to do. And so from like June, July, August, September, October, they try to really work it off. And then they hit November again. Right. So we want to change that pattern. a little bit. We want to shift that around without, and I think this is going to really help a lot of folks. So really tap in if that's something we want to do. We're starting on Sunday. But tap in with me. Just let me know that you're interested. We'll get you set up on the first meeting on Sunday, and we'll just provide a space for you to really take this on. And that's, I think, the key part of these groups is the accountability, the community, and the space that we provide.
That's huge. That's huge. That's exactly what I was going to say is, again, going through certain programs with you and now this being another group, the accountability aspect, the community aspect is really the thing that brings it all together. Of course, you can do some of these things by yourself, but just being in community with people that are doing similar things and you can be guided down the path. Again, I think that's the key to this whole thing. So,
yeah.
Lock in, tap in with Kabi. This is going to be a big deal, right? Like he said, we got the holidays coming up. There's a lot of this time. We're heading into winter right now. A lot of transitions that are happening. Time to make sure we're paying attention to the things that are most important in our lives. Health being top priority, right, Kabi?
That's right. Top priority, because you've got your health, you can build everything else. And Ash, let's make sure we clip that last little block right there for the promo. That's right. Let's click that. But no, I think, as we'll talk about today, right? If you have your health, you can build, you can learn new things, you can learn new skills, you can apply new methodology. So yeah, I think it's incredibly important to start from a place of being whole and complete.
That's right. And that's what we want to be able to do. So those are a little bit of the announcements. But let's dive into the show, man. We were going to talk about this recession, so to speak.
Uh-oh.
People are using the R word. I know. Technically, right? Everyone's like, technically, we are in one. Doesn't feel like one, though. Is this crashing today, right? Crypto market crashing. Bitcoin down to 15K or something like that. Why was that so funny?
Oh man, I just saw so many faces of people crying like Jordan. So many people it hurts. They ain't gonna say nothing because it hurts so bad.
It does hurt. And we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. We're laughing with you together.
Yes.
Together. We've all made the mistakes, right? We've all had things happen. But that being said, we do have some things up and coming in our economy that are happening, that are maybe taking a turn for the worse on a recession. I was just talking to somebody about this because what we're going to go through is talking about some of the people that have or the companies that have started laying people off. This is signs of a recession. But again, the government told us this, right? Jerome Powell came out and said unemployment will go up.
Yeah.
Unemployment will go up. So if unemployment's going to go up, that means people are going to get laid off.
That's right.
Question is, like, what does this mean for us? Yeah, by definition, right? Question is, what does this mean for you? Like, what does this mean for us? What does this mean for our money? What does this mean for our health? What does this mean for our routines or our lifestyle, or what we should be looking towards? Give me your thoughts, Kabi. Tell me, like, kind of what overall, like, kind of bird's eye view. What do you think this recession means for people?
I think this is huge. And to your point, a lot of prognosticators have been, giving us the flashing light for a while now. I've been listening to folks who were talking about recession last year.
Sure.
Talking about it for a while, and get prepared, and this is going to be the worst it's ever been, et cetera, et cetera. And now what we're really, I think where things really start to get dicey is when people actually start getting laid off. And that's what we're seeing at an unreal level. Some with class, some without. Shout out Elon Musk. All right. Some having fun with it. But what I think this is going to mean for all these layoffs is going to really be devastating. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see mental health at an all-time low. I
Mm,
think we're going to see relationships, marriages really suffer. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see people's health, just in general, in terms of is going to really drop because it's also happening in a time again, like we were talking about winter time, right?
mhm,
Where people maybe are going to retreat to their home if they still have one, right? They're going to turn to food, turn to alcohol, turn to now that gambling is getting big, turn to gambling,
yeah.
right? They're going to turn to sort of these quick dopamine hits to really kind of try to weather the storm a bit. And I think we're going to see a little bit of a dark time.
Mm,
Um, and unfortunately, well, fortunately, that's why we're here. That's why
correct.
we're here to really kind of highlight some of these things and suggest a few things that will be helpful for folks. But I do think it's going to take a real major impact on people's health, and I think it's also going to pull the cover off of people's finances, just like it's been pulling off of some companies, right?
Mhm.
They're gonna be left holding plantain leaves over their privates. You feel me?
Listen, we've been in an artificial economy. I agree with everything you just said. By the way, I agree with all of it. I think in dark times, tough times, recessions, depressions, things where people get set back, it just shows. It kind of illuminates who you are, kind of where you were, where your training was at, like your mindset, your right, like all of it just gets exposed in bad times when you have pressures and things like that. How
Yeah.
good, how solid your relationship was, right? Like all that stuff. It's really, it's good to be, or it's okay to kind of flourish in good times, but when it's bad times, what's happening? Are you still able to flourish? Do you have the tools? All that type of stuff. I really think that that's going to come out and right come to the surface. For people's money though, specifically for people's money, it's going to uncover all of the things that they didn't want to think about, that they didn't want to look at, that they never got around to. All of that is what happens, especially when cash flow changes right away,
Mm.
right? That is like the head of the monster, is your ability to bring in income. So when your cash flow changes, when your income changes, when you go from making 100, because again, we're thinking about the people that are getting laid off. A lot of these people are tech companies. Like these are engineers. These are, you know, data scientists. These could be like, these are six-figure positions. These aren't all just like entry level jobs. So these are people that making 80,000, 110, 150 at these companies, and they're the ones getting laid off. So when your income goes from 150 a year to zero, or your side hustle, or right 150 down to your Airbnb income, well, it changes everything. It changes the whole conversation. And we're going to start to see this happen, right? The more that the economy shifts, people continue to get laid off in people's finances. Uh, yeah, they're the covers are going to get pulled back. So we have to start to prepare. We have to start to prepare. That's the key. I see. I think you're still good on IG. But either way, preparing is the key. I think could be froze up a bit. But just again, finishing up on what I was just saying, what an actual recession would do and will do for the middle class, the lower class, the working class, the people that are will be most affected. It's going to be a struggle, right? It's going to be a little bit of a shift. if we're going to start talking about some of the health concerns and things that can start happening, but just in your finances, just again remembering that cash flow changes everything. And so as your cash flow changes, all the rest of the stuff has to change. But this is the time to now start to play a little bit more defense. If you remember, could be, I think I even said this. I think I said this a couple episodes ago, that like now's the time to start playing defense with our finances a bit. It's not the time to play offense, not the time to make big purchases. This is the time to start looking at the money, saving more of it, putting more of it aside, having more of a plan for it. Because in recessions, there aren't as many job opportunities for people that have jobs. It's not as many, right? Inflation goes up, price of things go up, less opportunity to be able to, supply and demand issues. There's all types of things that happen. But this is what we have. This is why we're here, to have the conversation, to make sure you're picking up a few things that you need to get you through the recession, to get you through these upcoming times. So, Kabi, can you hear me on Instagram? Probably not. It's all good. We're still making it happen. Kabi's having some technical difficulties, but we're going to get him back in here in a minute. Recession conversations, though. Again, we've been hearing a lot of it. I'll give you guys a couple things on the financial side of things that you probably want to start paying attention to when it comes to thinking about this upcoming recession. Okay. Again, the number one thing that we go to is figuring out how to continue to keep cash flow coming in. If you just have a job, and that's your main stream of income, that's your main source of income, do you have any talent, hobby, skill, anything that you can monetize? Being able to create a separate stream of income, being able to go out and say, I don't necessarily just need the job. I have the ability, if the job chooses to let me go, I have the ability to go out and create another stream. Hopefully by listening to us, hopefully by being a little bit more entrepreneurial minded. This is stuff that we talk about here on The Good Life, being more entrepreneurial minded, which really means just taking more ownership of your life and taking control of your life. Hopefully you've already started your side business or started your thing to monetize. If not, this is the time to start. This is the time to say, okay, how do I create more income outside of this job? Just in case. I know we all think our jobs are safe, right? We all think our jobs are the safest jobs. We all think they would never let us go. They all tell us that our positions are secure. But just in case they're not, just in case you're one of those people that says, they got to let you go from this company, do you have another option to immediately go and make money? Do you have something that you sell? Do you have a service that you can offer? Do you have a course? Do you have a book? Do you have, again, some type of digital product? Are you a coach? Is there something that you can do to go and monetize? If so, start that process now. Like, continue to grow that thing, continue to build that out. Continue to think about how to go out and just control your own income. That's going to be important. If you don't have that idea, if you don't have another skill set, or you haven't started a business, or you're not very entrepreneurial, it's okay. You can start learning, though. And I recommend you start learning, because in recessions, when we head into recessions, basically all that happens, again, there becomes less opportunity for those that are employed or looking for employment. There actually becomes more opportunities for people that think entrepreneurially. In down markets, in recessions, in lower periods of time, innovation can happen, disruption can happen, change can happen, because there's a lot of moving parts. So most successful entrepreneurs will say something along the lines of, it's in the recessions, it's in the bad markets that we make a fortune, that we make a killing. So by just being more on the employee side, There's less opportunities when you're in a recession. By coming over and being more entrepreneurial, gaining more skill sets around sales, around marketing, around you know uh, uh, disrupting businesses, operations, understanding contracts. Like there's certain things that you can start to understand and learn to make you more entrepreneurial, make you more ownership minded, and then we can go off and create the income that we want. You can create the lifestyle you want. You don't have to be dependent on the job. So again, in a recession, people with jobs, they need to create. You need to create new skill sets. You need to learn more. And learning does not just mean going back to school. Those of you that have been loyal, avid, good life followers here for some time, right? This is episode 93, by the way. We're coming up on episode 100 and 101. But those of you that have been following us know that we used to talk a lot about, is college the right thing? Is college the right move? Does school really help you? So some people might be thinking, I have to go back to school. I have to go back to school to get the information that I need to go make more money. Most likely not. School is designed to give you the information of how to get a piece of paper to go get a job, right? To go get validated at the job. So to be more entrepreneurial, we got to try more things. We got to get more skill sets around the things that help us grow business, or just get around people that are entrepreneurs. That's the other side. If you don't feel like you can go do it, if you don't feel like you're the person that can go start the business, because everyone can't go start a business, everyone doesn't have the chops to go do that, at least start getting around people that are entrepreneurial. Here's why. Because people that are entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial, that will have ideas, that will have visions, that will understand and want to start businesses in these down markets, in these recessions, they always need people with talent, with skill sets. So maybe you have a skill set that's at your job that's very, maybe you are an engineer, maybe, right, you understand how to code, maybe, right, again, there's tons of different skill sets. Maybe you have those skill sets, but you might not understand how to start the business. Well, if you get around other people that potentially are starting businesses, or know people that start businesses, and then they ask for someone like you, someone with your skill set, to join the team, well, it puts you in a position to have more opportunities. The opportunities in down markets and recessions typically aren't coming from the institutions, from the big corporations. You see, they're laying people off. They're going through a period of layoffs. That's part of what we're talking about tonight, before Khabib jumped off or had a technical issue. But we're diving in and having the conversation around all of the different layoffs and things that have been happening in the tech world, but just in corporate America. Meta, Facebook's parent company, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, just let go 11,000 people. 11,000 people got laid off from Meta just this past week. Twitter also, we all, could be talked a little bit about Elon Musk. So a little bit on the Elon Musk side, right? We heard that Twitter also laid off another 3,000, 4,000 people. There are a few others. I got you on Instagram. It's all good. The whole computer goes down. It's all good. What we'll do is we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up on IG, and I'll wrap it up over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. get that one taken care of, and then we'll pop on and get the technical difficulties fixed after we're off the live. All right. Cool. All right. So let's get this one here for everybody that was just listening. Right. We just Kabir was just checking in. Ash, maybe we edit that part out. Maybe not. It is what it is. The live game brings the technical issues every once in a while. But anyways, I'll finish up what I was saying just to finish up the episode so you guys still get some value. Technical difficulties or not, you deserve this information. You deserve the value. So again, cash flow is the big kind of topic when it comes to your money in a recession. Yes, we could talk about investing and savings, and we'll come around to those things, but you really got to pay attention to your cash flow. If there is a place that is often attacked in the recessions, it's through cash flow. If you get laid off, it'll immediately affect your cash flow. Your options, you need to go create another stream of income, start a business. If you already have a business, optimize that business, start to focus more on that than your job potentially, just to make sure you're secure, just in case the job's not there for you. Or if you're not capable of starting the business, get around some entrepreneurial people, get around some financial people, get around some people that have the vision for investments, for businesses, because your skill set might be needed. Your skill set just might be needed in their next venture, and that might pull you along through a recession where big companies are laying people off, smaller companies, startups, entrepreneurs with vision, they're the ones that are bringing people on board and creating their small team. So pay attention to that side when it comes to your cash flow. And then on the back end of cash flow, meaning what's coming in, not just what's coming in and how you're creating other streams of income, which again, I recommend, but also what's going out. Now's the time to tighten up, lower some of those expenses a bit. Lower some of those expenses. If there are unnecessary things that are unnecessary, let's get rid of them. Let's go ahead and get rid of them. Let's tighten up the budget a little bit. Let's make sure we don't have any holes in our boat. We're keeping more of the money that's coming in. This is how we stay away from stress in a recession. If we know our money, if we have a plan for our money, if we have the ability to control our money, and we know that we do, we can alleviate stress around our money. And in a recession, it gets stressful. Life becomes stressful. So to alleviate stress around money, you got to have a plan for it. Start with what's coming in, what's going out. For those of you that are in a good position, some of you might be like, hey, my cash flow is good. I actually already do have the business. I already do see myself cash flowing money and making money and saving money. And I'm in a good place. I don't just have one stream. I have a couple verticals and a couple different things I can do to make money. Great. But maybe we need to start getting around those same entrepreneurial people so that we can look at investments. Maybe we need to start to make sure we have money set aside to position ourselves to buy that business, to invest in that project, to invest in that thing. Maybe that's the stage that we're at. So we have to now strategize. It's still not the time to make major purchases. It's still the same time to tighten up on the budget, but maybe it's just to set more aside. If and when the real estate market fully goes down, if and when the stock market fully goes down, when all of these markets take a tumble, because that's what happens in a recession, all of the markets take a tumble. There's one that normally is the catalyst that takes the worst. There's maybe one that kind of bounces up a little bit or has a quicker rebound, but normally all the markets take a tumble. So in that, if that were to happen, do you have the money set aside? Do you have the money set aside to be able to handle what's up and coming? Do you have the money set aside to be able to get that investment, to invest in that thing that will give you the return you're looking for? That takes planning also. That's what a recession could also mean for someone that has done the right things and has money set aside and has savings and understands their cash flow and has multiple streams already. That could be for that person. But for everybody that's not in that position, if you aren't sitting on emergency fund savings, if you are only at a job and your job potentially is vulnerable, potentially, right? If the market gets really bad, you're in an industry that you don't know if your job is going to be there or if the hours will be there. If you're still sitting in any debts, credit card debt, high loans, this is the time to start paying these things off as the interest rates continue to go up, right? If you have any variable loans, this is the time to start breaking those things down because things only get worse in a recession. Interest rates only get higher, pressure only becomes more. If you're already in debt and you have a cash flow change, a shift, something changes in your money where you don't make as much, now that debt's it's gonna cost you a lot more for that debt. These are the things that start happening that we want to make sure that you are aware of and that you can avoid right now when it doesn't feel like we're in a recession. For some, it feels like it because you just got laid off, right? For others, it might not feel like you're in a recession. It might not feel like things aren't good financially, but it can happen very quick. It can happen very quick, so you have to be prepared. I'm talking to you from the finance side, from the money side, because money leads to a lot of stressors. Money leads to a lot of health conditions as well, mental conditions, health conditions. But I'm talking to you about the finance side, the money side of it. When Kabi comes back on, when we get him, maybe we move this till next week. But when we talk with Kabi again, he'll talk from the health perspective, what a recession means for your health and how to prevent some of the things that could potentially happen. Some of the stresses, some of the eating processed food, or right, having to cut back on certain types of food that we're buying and changing our diet or changing our movement because it's the winter time and being in a recession. Maybe we have to cut back. Maybe you really can't afford that gym membership anymore. Maybe you have to change it to a different gym. Maybe you have to change routines. These are all the things that affect us in our health, in our money when we go through transitions like a recession. So we want to make sure y'all are prepared to face what's up ahead. We want to make sure you guys are prepared. Again, we're wrapping up the show. We'll come back next week and have more conversations around this. If you want more access, join our Facebook group. You see it there on the bottom of the screen. Join our Facebook group. It's bit.ly/TGL Connect, the Good Life Connect, TGL Connect. That's going to get you into our Facebook group. We're going to be giving more access there, having more direct conversations, helping more around the health and wealth side of things. It's going to be great also just to build community and get around like-minded people that are all looking to strive and grow and live their best life. Get into the good life, not just the good life, the great life. But go over there to Facebook and join us. Join the group. As always, we're coming live to you. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, actually 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific. Feel free to, again, like this, share this, leave us a comment, leave us your thoughts. What does a recession mean to you? You'll probably see us having some more conversations around this in the upcoming weeks. But leave us some insight. What does a recession mean to you? How does it work? How does a recession impact your household? Are you worried about it? Is this something that's top of mind for you? Or if not, you're like, Chris, I don't even feel this. I don't even know what a recession is. My household is good. My finances are good. My income is secure. Maybe that's you. We'd want to hear from you also. Engage with us. Let us know what we can do to continue to add value, bring more information to you, bring more insight to all of you that are listening. But go over to iTunes or go over to Spotify. Leave us a thumbs up. Leave us some comments. Share this with somebody that might need it. We're coming up on episode 100, or as my man Kabi would say, episode 101. Right? The 101 is the beginning of the new, 100 is the close of the old. But we got that coming up 7 or 8 episodes from now. We're excited about it. We're going to start bringing on some guests. It's going to be some really awesome times here on The Good Life. So continue to check in with us. Continue to tap in. Again, check out Kabi. He's got his upcoming fasting group coming up this Sunday. Depends when you're listening to this. Could have just started last Sunday, or it could be coming up this Sunday. Those of you that are watching this live, it's coming up this Sunday. So make sure you tap in. Get your health in order before this recession comes, or you feel it. Get your money in order, and let's get to the good life. Guys, we're signing off. Until next time, I'll hit you with the peace. That's a Kabi thing. Later, y'all.